Alex, thank you for joining us. And I do want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the stage in your life, as a newly repatriated veteran in the state of Arizona. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor, pleasure to be here. My name's Alex Murillo. I am from Phoenix, Arizona. Patriot back.
Your
Uh,
audio is breaking out a little bit.
okay. Alex Murillo, U.S. Navy veteran. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Re- Recently repatriated back home to the U.S. and about 3 years ago. And of course, I'm very happy to be home, but I'm still fighting for the rest of our veterans to come back home and have the same feeling of being repatriated that I had.
Yeah, thank you. And like you said, you're still fighting for those who are not back yet, right? And for those of you who are just joining us and listening to us, my name is Danitza. I go by Dee. James, I am the president and CEO of Repatriate Our Patriots. I myself served in the Army for almost 7 years, did 2 combat tours to Iraq, and I did all of this as a green card veteran. I had no idea that deportation was even happening. And this was in 2006 when I left the military. I only found out about it in 2018 as I was doing advocacy for military sexual trauma survivors after the events of that happened in Fort Hood, Texas, with veteran Vanessa Guillén, which is something that I'm gonna touch on during our conversation, Alex, just because it's with the current elections is something that was just brought up yesterday, and I feel is relevant to the conversation of immigrants serving in our military. Is my audio okay? I kind of hear a feedback. I just want to make sure I'm good. All right, thank you. So Alex is currently he's one of our repatriated veterans. He's one of the blessed ones, I say, not lucky, but blessed ones to be back, right? To be beginning to reunite and reintegrate with his family in Arizona. But again, time in Arizona is one of those hot, hot battleground states for this election. And Alex, I will tell you, I know that you have not only been working to advocate and bring forward what's going on with deported veterans, but also I've seen you and the trails, like doing advocacy with Common Defense, one of America's Heroes Group, also partner for the election, right? Supporting Vice President Harris and Walz in this campaign, and really just bringing the voice forward, the voice of veterans, the voice of immigrant veterans. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you, D. Yeah, D. I think, and for me, it's very important now to voice my opinion on things politically, especially because of what happened to me and what happened to us as veterans. Because maybe and there was a time where we weren't so politically aware of things, and I know myself I wasn't, and look at what happened to me. Look where I ended up. So now, having been blessed to return, I want to use my voice and my power as a U.S. veteran to be able to have my opinion heard, and also to sway people's opinion as well as to what's going on. Because for me, this election is much more than just an election. For me, it could be, it's about my life, because I don't want someone in that office that is going to deport me and my veteran brothers and sisters again. We fought so hard to come back home. I don't want to ever have to go through that again. And if we have someone in office who's running, and we have someone that's progressive, that's about the middle class, about the people, Kamala, and we have the other guy, who is totally, well, I am an immigrant and I am a veteran. I got respect for either one of those things. You know, it's very important for me. It's life and death for me. I want to be able to stay home, so I want to sway and get as many people to vote in my family, of course, and out there in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, and I want to hear your comments and feedback on this story that was recently published by one of the medias from Tucson, right? The interview that you did where about Representative Siscomani, right? Siscomani was approached and was I think I can't remember the name of the media that provided that report, but they reached out to his office and they asked him what was his position and what is his stand on helping veterans who have been deported, and will he do something about it? And he his office didn't get back to the media outlet, right, until later on, and they found out that, and I'm not just gonna tell it because I know you were part of this. So can you tell us a little bit more about this interaction, not direct interaction, but what Representative Siscomani did or said that really reflects in really bad light of what he feels and how he thinks of veterans?
Yeah, I just you know, I guess we met with office with um office personnel, and we of course had our veteran delegation there, a couple folks. I was able to tell them from firsthand, knowledge of what happened to me, and share other stories of other veterans, and they seem to be, sympathetic, but really not not any time did we ever get to speak to him, to Siscomani, and it's disheartening because he is an immigrant himself, and we are all immigrant veterans here that are going through this. And he's also an immigrant that gained his citizenship. He's not a veteran, but you know. So anyhow, we never got to speak with him. He didn't get back to us all this time, and it's just yeah, I feel that it was just lip service. It's disappointing, and that's another reason why it's good to know who we are voting for. Who is out there, who's going to represent us, who is actually going to have our best interests in mind, and who's not. And we found out that he is not. And that's pretty. I mean, I can only be that. As I can see it. As plain as I can see it, he did not get back to us. He didn't want to support the legislation that we put forth, HR 4569, and simple as that. I can't candy coat. I can't sugarcoat it. It's just so we move on. We move on to other allies, to other Congress people that will support us, because there will be those that will support us. Many of them, because this country is about supporting the troops. Of course, that's one of our mottos, and one of those that we should uphold: supporting the troops, not deporting the troops. Like, it's yeah, it's got to change. So we got to find the right allies. Siscomani is not the right congressperson, but there are, and there are those that are on the fence that we will change their minds, and they will come on board, and they will help us to bring our brothers and sisters back home.
Yeah, and I remember when we met with his staffers, right? We share the stories, we share the challenges, we share what it means. We share the fact that there was a promise made to us when we that a military service was a path to citizenship, but they never told us that that path uh, did not include resources, did not include support, that they did not include accountability, and it was was really up to us to make it happen. I'm not saying that they should do it for us, but at the same time, right, while we are busy learning our jobs, learning to stay alive, really, in the time that I served, right, it was a life and death situation. I really wasn't worried about filling out forms and mailing them and studying on a book to take a citizenships test, right? That was not at the front of my mind. The front of my mind was like, make sure I come back in one piece and bring my brothers and sisters back with me, right? So, yeah, Cisco Manny, that's exactly how you said it. He was more of a lip service. Lip service to the public, saying that he supports troops. But what he didn't say is that he only supports troops when it benefits him. Right. So something that I think you may be familiar, you may have heard in the news yesterday or even today, about a recent comment that surfaced that former President Trump made when he was in office about a Mexican American veteran, Vanessa Guillén. Vanessa Guillén was murdered tragically in Fort Hood, Texas, after allegations of sexual assault, right? That's when in 2018, that's when I began doing advocacy work with the League of United Latin American Citizens, also known as LULAC. And we grew a close relationship with the family, right? And we were advocating for changes. Well, the family was able to visit Trump in the Oval Office, and the comment that surfaced, right, was him talking and making a derogative comment about Mexicans. In reference to the cost of her funeral. His comments, and I quote, he said, I quote, "You gotta be kidding me. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a fucking Mexican." Part of my language, but that's exactly what he said, right? He said that people were trying to take advantage of him, rip him off, on the cost of the military, the burial for this veteran who had been tragically murdered. This to me is not only a disgrace to veterans, to active duty veterans, and but it's also a disgrace to his office to hear that our commander in chief is referring to veterans in that way, right? This is not a surprise. This is something that we've known, and we know he calls us, what did he call us last time, was lazy losers, you name it, right? No respect for military service, period. And the fact that this continues to surface is really makes me want to bring awareness to our community, to our Hispanic community, right? Of please make sure you head to the polls and you vote, and that you vote for Vice President Kamala Harris and Vice President Waltz, right? Because I will not want to be a service member who has a commander in chief who does not respect our military service, who does not respect veterans, right? What are your feelings? How are you feeling about those comments?
Yeah, I definitely feel no respect for our military service general. He's shown it. He didn't serve, of course. He got off with those bone spurs or whatever. Which is about just about right. You know what I mean, for a creature like So yeah, it's as simple as that. We are fighting against that. We're fighting against that inhumanity that is within that person, that he doesn't care about anything but himself. He's trying to keep himself out of jail, but at the same time, he's always been this way. You saw with the Central Park Five, he took out a full-page ad, saying that they should be executed or some to that effect when they were innocent the whole time. And he's always been racist. His father has had the the KKK connections, and the not renting to black folks, since way back in the day. So yeah, he doesn't like Mexicans. Of course, he's not gonna like Mexicans. He doesn't. He doesn't, and he talks about the what does he say, the poison, poison of the blood of our country. Which, come on, the strength of our country is our diversity, our cultural diversity, and that's where America gets all its flavor from. That's what I used to miss when I was deported. What I mean? I got to learn and love Mexico, but you know, it was just one, it was just a bunch of Mexicans there, but there are a lot of Americans also there at the border. But I was always thinking, all the time, like, man, I miss all the different cultures that I always used to interact with back home. All the Chinese folks, the Koreans, the Italians, you know, the Irish folk, the Native Americans. Because I've been in the military and I've been around the world, so I appreciate cultures and I appreciate other people's, and I respect other people. So yeah, having this dude be like that, I don't want that as any kind of president. He was a bullshit president before. He is a con man and a con artist. He's a reality TV personality that has no business around governing folks, governing us, controlling or empowered, having power of that sort, and having access to our secrets or our military knowledge or any. That person should not have any of that. Uh, So that's me as speaking as a military person, as an American, and as just as a common sense. Like, how are we gonna give this dude power once again when with what he did before and what he is now, when he has exposed himself so many times? Like, he's telling us what he is. We've already seen it. Anybody that's still behind him is just, come on, it's just must be just blindly just holding on to I don't know what.
Yeah, and it's one of those things I was like, it blows my mind to see and to know that a convicted felon is running for president. He is he could very much be our president, and yet, right, you and many others were deported because of even a less
Yeah.
a less of an offense, right, than all the crimes that he was charged with, right? You were deported. Other veterans have been deported because of crimes that are way lower than what the crimes that he has done and been charged with, but yet he is running to be our commander in chief. That just to me is mind blowing.
It's surreal. It's like, I can't believe we are living this reality. But again, that is why we have to fight against it. We have to fight to get people to those polls and vote the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and as we get ready to wrap our segment, I do want to give you an opportunity to kind of give you how how is your reintegration going? How was your job search or housing? How's your family doing? Just give us a glimpse of what being deported for over 10 years did to your really to your family and to your connections to the United States, and how are you doing today?
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm thankfully I am doing good. I'm doing great. Back home with my children. Trying to help my mom
Your
gainfully.
audio is breaking out a little bit. Yeah.
Uh, just trying to help my mom out. And spending time with the kids. Um, I am employed. I'm doing construction. So I'm just happy to be home, and I'm always advocating for deported veterans to come back home. And right now, I'm doing social media for deported veterans always, and social media for Kamala Harris and Ruben Gallego and Vets for Democracy, basically for common defense. And that's it. Taking care of my mom and taking care of the kids, and loving life in the USA.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. We're happy to have you back, and uh, happy to have you in the. I will say it, in the trenches, by my side, fighting this fight, right? To make sure that this doesn't happen again. To make sure that we stop the bleeding and that there are no more veterans being deported. If you have, if Vice President Kamala Harris and um, Sergeant Major Waltz were listening, what would you say to them?
Um, I would say let's go, let's win. We're not going back. We're all pulling for you, and we're all fighting right alongside you to get this W. That's it.
And yeah, and I would just add, Sergeant Major Waltz, you know how we take care of our own. You know what we do. It's about taking care of our service members. And, we are really looking forward to the inauguration date where President Harris comes into office and he becomes our vice president and can really bring some positive change, not only for our military and our veterans, but for the community in the United States as a whole. Um, I have two things to ask. What was something that you missed the most while you were deported? And what was the, I will say, the food? What was one item that you missed the most from the United States? That was like your first meal that you came and got when you got back to the US.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, just the traditional, of course, hamburger. Now got the cheeseburger. What I missed the most while I was over there, of course, was my family, my children, and like I said, just the diversity of cultures that I have access to here. And always used to think about. I wish I would have went, to see the Statue of Liberty, and I'm going to New York now for the Veterans Parade, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, just that's it. I just want to be.
That's great. And we have about 5 minutes here, and I just want to give the audience an update on what Repatriate Our Patriots is about, what our mission is, and what are some of the things that we're currently working on. So, Repatriate Our Patriots is a nonprofit organization. It was founded in 2018 by an Army veteran and who wanted to bring change, right? And make the wrong right of what had been happening with our veterans who have been deported. So, Repatriate Our Patriots' mission is to help those who have been deported to be repatriated and come back to the United States. Also, to advocate and to prevent future deportations. This cannot be something that continues to happen, right? So we advocate for any in legislative process. We don't. We also make sure that the community is aware and that knows what is going on, what are some of the challenges that service members face when they join the military as non-citizens, right? And what is needed from the community to bring permanent change to this. Repatriate Our Patriots has referral services and case management to where we help veterans and family members connect with resources in the United States so that they can have a successful reintegration after returning to their communities. We are currently seeking veterans and family members who need assistance with the naturalization process. You don't have to be deported. You can be separated from the military and are willing and or wanting to obtain your naturalization and you have lived or currently live in LA County. We have Immigrant Defenders is a partner of ours, and they have currently an account and they have bandwidth to take on clients pro bono to help with naturalization and also help those who are deported who are seeking to come home. So if you know somebody who is in LA County, who has lived in LA County and is currently seeking assistance with naturalization process, please let us know. Send us an email. You can find us on our website, send us a message. That is one of the biggest challenges that many veterans face, is the pro bono legal assistance for this process. And Immigrant Defenders has the bandwidth and availability right now to take on new clients without any cost. If you are seeking assistance for the VA benefits or VA claims, you can also contact us, and we will put you in touch with a caseworker from the VA in the town that you live in. So our website is repatriateourpatriots.org. You can find us on social media with the same handle, Repatriate Our Patriots. And please follow us. We provide updates, and we have really updates and on legislation, on current veterans repatriation, and things that we're actively doing to make sure that this terrible wrong is made right. And thank you, Alex, for being here and for sharing the work that you're doing. We're so happy that you're doing well, that you have a job, and that you're spending time with your mom and your family, right, and your kids, because all that time that was taken away from you, it probably seems like an eternity.
Thank you, Dee. Of course, having me, and we're still in the fight. Folks, let's bring our deported veterans home. Let's go. Kamala Harris, Waltz, 24.
That's right. Thank you, Alex. And we'll come and see us next month.
Yes. Thank you.